Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a you versus them love reading for Libra. We'll explore your energy, the energy of the person on your mind, and the dynamic between you. Not to fix or chase anyone, but to support your clarity, self-trust, and emotional steadiness. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Libras, please. All right, so your person's energy, the Eight of Cups. You're in the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And the connection, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay, so it feels like there's been some sort of rejection here, or you're not seeing potential. It looks like this person may have turned their back on you or turned their back on this connection. And we see the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this definitely feels like this is someone that you're in separation from. This person may have wanted to be single, Libra. It looks like you may be in an energy of waiting to see if they're going to come back around, waiting if they're going to message, waiting to see what they're going to do next. Interesting messages here. Let's see. Why do we have the Eight of Cups? Yeah, it's like they've definitely turned their back on this connection, Libra. The Seven of Swords. Some of you, this person ghosted, or this person kind of did that like quiet fade away energy. They could be sneaky. On this particular card, there are three people, so potentially there was some sort of third party involvement. My heart goes out to you. I'm sending you a lot of peace and ease at this time. This is never easy. And they're viewing you as the Page of Swords. But interestingly enough, this person is still kind of watching you, still keeping tabs on you. With the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like my Libras are very clear here that something absolutely needed to change, that things couldn't continue the way that they were. You're not putting work into this, but I do think you're holding space. You're watching and waiting, maybe strategizing here. Yeah, the King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. See, you're holding your own here, Libra. You're more emotionally balanced than you might feel, or than most people would be in this situation. But, you know, he's kind of sitting down. He's feeling a bit exhausted. That cup is tilting. So you've definitely been emotionally drained. But you're keeping your head above water here. And I do feel like this is someone that either you were married to or you were in a long distance, maybe this was long distance, but a long-term connection with. And I do feel like you're kind of feeling a little bit miffed, a little bit surprised, because you still have feelings for this person. But, you know, he's sitting down kind of like, really? Is this really how it ends? Is this really how you're going to do me here? And you're viewing this person as the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. That's quite an unhealthy energy, but I do feel like this is somebody that you've put a lot of time and effort into. And I just feel like you're feeling a little bit miffed, like what the hell? But you're seeing here that this person has unhealthy patterns, unhealthy habits. Now, we see the Ace of Wands in reverse. There could be a lack of passion in this connection. This may have been like a sexless marriage or relationship. Not for all of you. But with the Ace of Wands in reverse, I feel like there's been some sort of rejection here. And your person is viewing the connection as the Emperor in reverse. You know, I think you're dealing with somebody here who's quite self-centered. The Emperor in reverse is really one of my big red flags here, Libra. So this is somebody who may be controlling. This may have been somebody who was very jealous with you, because they're still keeping an eye on you, Libra. But it's like, this is, I can do whatever I want, but you can't do whatever you want. The Emperor in reverse is also somebody who's not ready to step up in this connection and really be that divine counterpart, that partner. It's somebody who has a temper, somebody who could be a philanderer, a cheater. So interesting. And this person, this person may be angry or triggered when they think about this relationship here, but I feel like I feel like that's more of a projection. You know, I feel like this is the type of person that like got angry or upset with you when you called them out or you expressed concerns over red flags or some bad behavior, and so they just like somehow tried to make it your fault. You're viewing the relationship here, though, as the Three of Pentacles. So there's a part of my Libras that still may want to work this out with this person, which I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around because I'm really, really not liking their energy. But, you know, some of you, you have children with this person. Others of you, you've been with this person for a long time. You might see them as very compatible with you. You might also, I might just be picking up on some of my Libras who are in that nostalgic energy where you're having a hard time remembering like the bad shit that happened and focusing on like, oh, when the times were good. But I also feel like my Libras, a lot of you, you are very sure about third-party interference here. This is a heavy read, Libra. It's a heavy reading. And how you're feeling, Six of Wands in reverse, you're definitely feeling conflicted. You're feeling ignored. You're feeling like this is a breakup. You're feeling like there's real potential that this won't come together, that this does scatter your energy. So I feel like your emotions are kind of, you know, bouncing back and forth between that nostalgia. We've put time and effort into this. You know, I love, or at one point I loved this person. But I do also think you're recognizing that something here's got to give, that this isn't okay. Okay. And, you know, to be honest, when you've put a lot of time and effort into a relationship and it kind of goes like this, you know, you have to give yourself grace because you will be feeling all of the, you know, the whole spectrum of emotions here. So let's see what we need to know about this person. I kind of feel they're shady though. We see they're indecisive. They've turned their back, but again, they're still watching you. So it's like they haven't fully let you go. And again, it may be that they were deciding between you and somebody else. The fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, is coming out imbalanced. So an imbalanced throat chakra here is somebody who has maybe something still left to say, didn't tell the truth, somebody that doesn't want you to know something about them, or someone who doesn't say what they mean or they don't mean what they say. So a lot of red flags in this person's energy, Libra. All right, and we see victory energy. So this person, I mean, I kind of feel like this person feels in some weird way that they've won by kind of like slinking away, or maybe that you haven't fully found out the truth. I really, you know, I don't like these negative readings, but it's not like I can just stop the reading and do another one, but because these are the messages that need to come through. We see brokenhearted, so you might be feeling that way. Again, this person may maybe not very quickly, but will realize what they're missing here, Libra. Because this is the type of person who makes a decision and thinks they've won, or they've done the, you know, that they've gotten away with something, but then they, you know, a few months later, they realize everything that they sabotaged. This person might have shiny object syndrome, you know, where they just, you know, see something pretty or shiny and run off towards that. I really don't love this energy. Some of you, this is somebody you were married to or in a long-term commitment with. Let's see what we need to know. Yeah, see, this person, they're not dealing. They're avoiding you, it looks like, or an important conversation. They don't want to give you clarity or closure. But it's interesting. It's like this person is coming off as angry, so they might be making everything your fault. Now, maybe some of my Libras, you know, you did anger or upset this person. But I'm getting more so that this person's defensive because they have something to hide. And you know, that's often the case. If you say, hey, is there something going on with you and so, it seems like there's, you know, something covert, or there's something more than friendship there. Like this is the type of person who will like start a fight or get angry or turn it on to you. Oh, Libra, this is tough energy. And we see wedding rings. So a lot of you, this is confirmation you were married to this person, or maybe you were engaged to this person, or maybe you guys just talked about, you know, marriage, a future, children, that type of energy. All right, let's see what's in your advice or your guidance here. Advice and guidance for my Libras, please. Yeah, we see the snake. It does look like there's third-party energy. A lot of you may already know because you're viewing the connection here as the Three of Pentacles. But I do feel like there's some sort of third party here. This is confirmation. And yes, this makes complete sense to me that the Healthy Choices card is coming out, because Spirit's saying, Libra, this isn't healthy. This isn't good for you. You deserve something better. making healthy choices in love and in life, being in an energy of self-love and self-care. I promise you will be happier. Now, this person may circle back around and want to talk, but I kind of feel like they're denying that to you right now. Okay, let's see what's hidden here. What's hidden here? What do my Libras need to know? Hung up on the past. So this person's still hung up on you. Again, maybe that third party is somebody from their past. And we see entanglements. Yeah, and that's indicative of that Emperor energy in reverse. Again, Libras, my heart goes out to you. This is a tough read. These are tough messages. Let's see what this person wants to say to you. Conversation. I want to call you and hear your voice. So there's a part of you part of them that's missing you. Again, we saw that talking energy. I mean, they might try to do that at some point in time. You know, use your discretion here. Escape. I left when things got hard. Yep, they kind of escape. They're having a hard time confronting like the real issues, and also I feel like their own shadow, because I do feel with the Emperor in reverse and the Seven of Swords, this is somebody who's an escapist. This is someone that doesn't like to look at, you know, their faults and where they've fell short. They like to flip the script and turn it on you or other people. And we get this confirmation here, Libra, third party energy. Yeah, we see this third party. There were other things that got in the way of us being together, so it feels like a third party. Either somebody from their past or somebody they were having an affair with. I mean, not always are third parties romantic rivals, but it certainly feels that way in this connection, Libra. And again, my heart goes out to you. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else do my Libras need to know here, please? All right, so they're coming towards you, the King of Wands. This person is going to come back around. We see the Page of Wands. Take that risk, take that leap of faith. They're coming back around. They're stuck on you, but there's still this third party energy. Empress in reverse, Taurus and Libra energy. So I'd be very, very careful here, Libra, with this person. All right. It feels like they feel like they can kind of ghost, disappear, do whatever they want, make it seem like it's your fault, and then boom, you come back around. All right. Let's see. Anything else we need to know? Yeah, this person's definitely going to try to come back around. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you two together. But, you know, I feel like maybe some of my Libras, you do love this person, but I mean, just there's so many red flags in this reading. So for a lot of my Libras, the way I'm going to be reading this is your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help you bring you together with a real true soulmate who's going to match your energy. Somebody who's going to meet you where you are. And we see heart-to-heart conversations. Yeah, so this person's blocked throat chakra. They may be coming back around to open up to you at some point in time. But again, I'd be very careful here, Libra. I'd be very careful. Because it looks like they will, but there's still that third party kind of buzzing around in the background. So what's advice and guidance for my Libras here, please? Advice and guidance. Choose presence. Be here instead of ahead or behind, right? So stay present. Pause before you act. Give yourself space before responding. Okay. And we see ground into the present. So you're going to have to stay really grounded, because I do feel like this person really dysregulates your nervous system. I feel like this person is really good at being manipulative, really good at turning things that are their problem or their fault onto you, making it your fault. This is one of those types of people, and it's quite narcissistic energy, to be honest, although I'm not saying they're a narcissist, but their energy definitely is coming through like that, where like they twist your words around, or if you confront them about something, they make it about you instead. So you're going to have to stay really grounded. And again, I do think this person's going to reach out, and we're doing these readings right before Valentine's Day. So they may send you some sort of sweet message or even a gift on Valentine's Day. And I think it's going to be very dysregulating, to be honest. Yeah, and Spirit's saying stay in the energy of self-respect, stay grounded, act in ways you won't need to justify to yourself later. And for some of my Libras, it's keeping this person, having strong boundaries with this person, keeping them blocked. Or if you do feel like you need to talk, or you want to talk to this person, because you might need some answers or something, again, stay really grounded, because I feel like they do really get off with you being in reactive mode. All right, Libras, I apologize about the, the reading being quite negative, but it's what needed to come through, and it may not resonate with each and every one of my Libras. And if it doesn't, go ahead and check your other signs. I oftentimes check my sun, my moon, my rising, especially my Venus when it comes to love, but also your North Node. All right, Libras, sending you love and light. Take care.